Alright, I got a pretty cool video I want to share with you guys today. We're going to do some building in the basement. You can tell by the view in the background here that we're downstairs. We're going to build today a germination station for your seeds. So we're pushing into February right now. It's going to be that time of year where you want to start getting your things sprouted so that you're able to put them in the garden and they've got a really, really good root mass and a great start to the season so you can be successful. So we're going to walk through a step-by-step on how to build an indoor growing station. So not only can you use this station for germinating your seeds, but you can also use this for growing your lettuces, you can regrow your carrots, your celery, etc. all year round so that you're producing food in a small space with a very, very small footprint in the basement. So let's give her a go and we'll see if we can walk through. Okay, so the list of materials that you're going to need for this is fairly straightforward and simple. I purchased this rack at Walmart. I think it was $23.99 or something like that on sale. It has 4 different levels that we'll be able to use. So the idea here is that we're going to install a light that sits on every single level. We want to put strings on both sides so that we're able to adjust the height of the light, because one of the mistakes people make constantly is they put seeds in a little pot and put it by the window and they allow it to grow in the natural sunlight, but the problem with that is that the seed will just grow and grow and grow and grow and angle towards the window, and you're constantly finding yourself turning it. When you have a setup with pulleys, which I've purchased right here, again, quick, simple, and easy, you'll set the pulleys up, one on each side, and then you'll have your string tied to it. So when I first start my seeds off, I'm going to bring that light down so it's almost touching the top of these. And then as the plant grows, I'll move my light up a little bit at a time, but I always want it to be super close to where the seed is because it's going to encourage my root system to develop and leave my plant nice and small so it'll stay bushy and then I can make it grow. And that is the key to healthy growing, 100%. So anyways, we need a couple pulleys, so you're going to need enough for every row that you're doing. You're going to need a power bar, because each one of these levels is going to have a light on it, and you're going to want to be able to plug them all into one circuit. I've got a little bit of electrical tape, just for tightening some things up at the end of the day. You will need some rope. We got the good stuff here. It's the heavy tension type rope. Some screws. You're going to need light fixtures. So I went and purchased this. Nothing fancy about it. It's just a double light fixture. When you're purchasing these things at the store, you want to make sure that what you're buying comes ready to go. So you're just going to plug it in and it's good to go. You don't want to buy the ones that you have to wire and attach ballast to, because that's just a huge pain in the butt. And for lights, I bought my grow lights. Now this is something that's important, okay? You don't want to buy lights that aren't grow lights. You don't want to use just the regular lights that come in the box. That's not what you're looking for. These lights give off a specific spectrum that is going to help encourage the growth of your plants. So if you've done any of the growing videos that I've posted previously and you're just using a regular light that you purchased at the store and it's not really doing so well for you, that could be one of the reasons right there. And all you need is a box of screws, a little bit of plastic. This is 6mm poly that you would use for wrapping the insulation in your basement, and we're ready to rock and roll. So let's jump right in there and start building. Alright, quick and simple. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start with my little pulleys that we've showed you. And I'm just going to put a screw in on the outside here, and on the outside out here, I'm going to run a little rope from there to my pulley and let it dangle. And that's your first step. Once I get through there, I'll move on. Alright, so I'm just going to stretch out a piece of rope. I'm going to cut that, and then we'll tie it from our screw that we've left sticking out about a ½ an inch, and then we're going to tie it to this so it's dangling. Okay, so it's as simple as that. You just want it to dangle. You want to leave 1.5 inches, 2 inches there. You could even put the screw right through the little knob piece right here if you wanted to, but I like to be able to adjust that or play with it, so I leave a little bit of a hang. I'm going to repeat that on all the different corners. Alright, just to give you a shot. So we've now installed our pulleys on every corner We've done it on both sides, and we're ready to move to the next step.
Alright, so I've stretched my poly up across the top. I've left about a 6-inch overhang, and I've weighted it. So now I can cut it on the bottom, and then I know that my sheet is going to be more than adequate for the size. Always leave yourself some extra space, because the last thing you want to do is try to put something together and you're fighting to make it work because you're too tight. So, alright, best kind of project is an easy project. So let's pop these open, let's get them hung up, and we're moving on. Okay, so it's going to come with the little package right here on the plug. You pop that off. Inside this little baggie is your chains. So these are the hooks that'll go on the back side that you can tie your ropes to hang it. And you can see these little clips in the end here. They need to be pulled out. So sometimes they'll be pushed inside. You just grab them with your fingers. These little clips right here. Sometimes they'll be pushed inside. Just grab them with your fingers and give them a little pull so they're out and ready to go. Quick, simple, and easy. Okay, so there's going to be 2 hooks that come in each one of these kits. And you can see on the back side of these lights there's a slot right there. That slot is the slot for your hooks. It's as simple as that. You just put the little chain in it, and then you've got your thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to tie these to our pulleys so that we're able to raise it up and down. So as you can see here, I haven't tied the rope on the back end because, again, we want to be able to raise it up and down. So what I've done is I've tied the rope right to the bottom. Now I don't want to cut the back part of this off because I want to be able to have the option to hang this from different heights at a different time. And as quick and simple as that, it's up and ready to go. Now notice in the front here, I've put 2 screws in the front. This way I can just wrap it around the individual screws right from my pulley, and then I don't have to do knots. When I want to lower or raise this, I'll just unwind that, lower it down, and rewind it, and I'm good to go. But quick, simple, and easy. We're moving along fast, so I'm going to do the other levels and I'll come back. Alright, super quick and easy. So this isn't taking very long at all. I've got all 4 levels all done with my lights. If you notice that on this side I have all of my extension cords on the same side, make sure of that when you're mounting those, because the last thing you want to do is have a cord coming from here, a cord coming from there, etc. These shop lights are great because they do not throw a lot of heat. They're very, very safe. You can have them in close proximity to stuff, and you don't have to worry in a big way about them catching fire. So this is a very, very good setup. This is super, super hard plastic. So we're coming along really nicely here, but let's put the lights in and then we'll take it to the next level. So this is fairly simple stuff. The end of these lights has 2 little tabs on it. The piece of the light right here, it has a little clip in it. All you're going to do is insert the light in on both sides so it goes up together and you twist. That's it. But hold the lights gently in your hands when you twist it, and don't just let it go, because if it's not fastened in place, it'll fall and break. That's a good start. We got the first one in, and now we're going to put the second tube up. One of the things to keep in mind, I don't think this drains a lot of power, but if you didn't want to put the second bulb in, you don't necessarily need to, depending on what you're growing up here, right? Alright, moment of truth. I got all the lights in. I'm not going to lie, putting those bulbs in and twisting them by yourself is a huge pain in the butt. Elicit some help for that, because trying to put one in one side and then flick it, not super fun. But here we go. Let there be light. There we go. We now have our 4-layer growing station. So let's keep on moving on and keep on going. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is put up the polycarbonate that we, sorry, not the polycarbonate, the poly that we had cut at the very beginning. So I'm just going to drape this around the back side, not the front side, across the back side, and I'm going to put it up and I'll show you what we got. Okay, so as you can see, I've put the poly on the back right here, and I've got a weight up top. So I just set something on top of it, that way it's not going to fall off on me. And all I'm going to do is take my poly, I'm going to use the same screws I use for everything else. I'm going to bring it around, and I'm going to zip a screw in the corner here, the corner here, the corner here, the corner there. And then from there, I'll stretch it around tight the other side so that I make sure I have enough for what I'm trying to do. Okay, so as you can see, I've got one side all zipped up, tucked away. The drill was a huge pain in the butt, so I went to the stapler. It definitely works a hell of a lot easier. So now we just got to do our back side and our other corner. Alright, so as you can see, we've got our plastic up. It's your choice. You can leave the front piece if you choose to. For me, I like having the front piece on because it creates kind of its own little atmosphere inside, but at the same time, for functionability, I want to be able to go in and out constantly, move around. I'm constantly checking my stuff. So I'm going to take the X-Acto knife and I'm just going to slice it right down the edge right here so I have a nice clean look to it. So as you can see, we've cleared out the front, so now we've left ourselves lots of room for everything we want to do, and the next step is just to load it up with your seed trays. Okay, so I've chosen two different types of seed trays. I have one here that we're going to put our own soil in, and we're going to put our seeds in it. And I have another one here that has the little pucks in it. So these pucks, I don't know if you've used them yet, but you're going to put water on them, they swell up, and then you put your seed directly in that. I'd like to do a comparable, so we're going to do both of them at the same time with the same number of the same seeds, and then we're going to see what kind of progress we get from one over the other. So I think that's a really neat way to start out. One of the things you want to keep in mind here is that when you're loading up your shelves, don't stack the shelves with everything you can fit on it when you're planting seeds, because your plants are going to grow and get bigger, and you're going to want to have space so when you transplant them from your small seed beds into your small pots, you have room to put them on the shelf. So okay, well, there you have it. So you can see the top shelf becomes a great spot to put your Purelite, your Seed Starter Plus. You can put your fertilizer up there, all kinds of miscellaneous. And you can see we've created a 4-tier seed starting station. You could do your avocados in this, you can do your lemons in this, you can do orange trees in this, you can do watermelons, corn, carrots, you name it. If you're looking to sprout it, you can do it in this setup. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, every one of the lights can move. Try keeping them down low. We have our plastic wrap on the back so that we're going to hopefully build some condensation inside our little system here, and it's just going to create its own little ecosystem. So I had a smaller one of these when I was doing all the avocado, mango, lemon tree, etc. videos, and it worked fantastic. So all we've done now is broken into 4 levels. So I hope you enjoy watching. There's going to be many more videos based on this. We are going to attempt to grow lettuce indoors for a long period of time. We're going to start doing some of the mangoes. We're going to go back into pomegranates. We've got a whole bunch of stuff, and I've actually got something cool right here. We are going to try this gardening season to grow a giant pumpkin. And not only are we going to try to grow a giant pumpkin, but we're going to try to do it using a ready-made kit. So I hope you enjoyed the video. There it is, your seed germination station. Thanks a lot for watching. Please subscribe.